Hello, 1 Minute Futures Trader here. I hope everyone having a good holiday season. Happy New Year's to everyone. And we are getting ready to start 2025 trading year. I want to talk about 4 checkpoints that is gonna improve your trading in 2025. Okay, the first one is the bigger time frame level. So before I start the trading day, I always start from the bigger time frame and mark my levels, look at the daily high and low levels, look at the sessions, look at the overnight session, look at the Asian session, look at the London sessions, high and lows, and looking at some important pivot levels. So if you mark those on the bigger time frame charts, then it is going to really help you on the smaller time frame or your entry time frame chart. Okay, the second one is gonna be a breakout structure entry. If you are already watching my videos, I explained a lot more details on my signal entry bars and where to enter, how to enter. Most of the time, the most failures from the traders that I know is entering too early or not waiting better breakout structures, not waiting the structures to break through. Also, it's gonna make you be more patient with the trade. So you just need to wait and choose the proper structures before your entry, and don't enter on every signal bar that you see and every power bar you see on the chart. So you need to be very selective. And the third one is looking at the volume while you are trading and tracking the volume on your entries. You need to kind of look at the history, what the volume is telling you right before your entries. If you are not aware of the which side is more buy side or sell side right before your entry, that you are missing a lot. I would just really add on to volume onto your chart and then keep a track on it while you are entering trade. And the last one, the fourth one, is your exit. As far as the entries are really important, the exits are even more important. If you are exiting too early, which is many of the case of the new traders and the traders that are failing because they just exit too early, too fast. One bar after their entry, you exited, and instead of waiting what the chart tells you when to exit. So if you are doing this mistake, it is gonna really, on the long run, is not gonna make you profitable. So you need to look for where is proper exits, or you need to watch out your win to loss ratio. You need to think about in the long term that if you are keep taking small profits every time you risk, then in the long run you are gonna lose it. So you need to think about that. You need to be able to stay in this trade as long as possible that charts tells you. If you do that, your win rate is gonna be a lot higher than your losing rate, and that is gonna make your PNL a lot better, and you will be more profitable at the end. As I said before, we need to look for the bigger time frame levels at the very beginning before we start the day. I start usually with daily, and I sometimes look at the weekly also, but mostly I start with the daily, look at the levels. If anything significant, then I will put it in there. These are also from weekly charts and then even some from monthly charts. So you have your bigger time frame levels marked in, and also have the volume at the bottom here. I kind of look at and compare this to prior days, how the volume is for today and how everything is going. So see, some of the days the volume is really low, some of the days are above the average. So you got to pay attention to that. I also look at the 4-hour charts, and to make it more specific for the day that I am trading. And after that, I switch to 1 hour, and I look at the 1-hour chart and mark if I see anything for that day on the 1-hour chart. So pretty much 1 hour, 4 hours, and the daily, I put my marks before the day starts. 15-minute to 5-minute charts, I also look at it pretty often during the trading session. So I have the 15-minute chart here that mostly I will look at the direction of the moves and first 15-minute breakouts, prior day sessions, and it shows everything more details without too much noise still, like 1 minute, 2-minute charts or a thick chart. So I kind of prefer to look at this during the trading session and look at the directions, and if anything that important levels that ahead of me, then I can have a better idea without looking at the 4-hour or daily charts all the time. The other one is I often look at it is the 5-minute charts. I also have on the 5-minute charts, I have the volume profile added here. So I use this volume profile for also as a targets or a rejection area, especially the low volume areas like on this one here, like this area, for example. This can be a profit target or a rejection, which usually can be a good target. Or I also try to stay away from the heavy volume areas, which is point of control areas like this areas here, for example, and like this areas here or these areas here. So a lot of volume here, you kind of try to minimize your entries at this level. So the low volume areas usually good for targets or rejection areas, and then the high volume, the point of control areas are just for more standby for observation and then to see what the price is gonna do for the next. Also, this volume profile draws the line for me. So this red line here is a point of control for the day. Green lines here, the value area. So this is the high of the value area and this is the low of the value area, which is showing that most of the trades showing between this high and low levels. And this is the indicator list for the 5-minute chart here. So pretty much I have again price line that shows the price line. I have the repeater that shows the overnight sessions and the day sessions, and this is the volume up and down, and this is again for the drawing. This is the D value area. That is what I use for showing the volume profile on the chart, and this is pretty much the settings that I use. Okay, and I got the bar timer and I get the VWAP like the other chart. And the next one is the 1-minute chart. So this is the 1-minute chart here. I just open the indicator sections here, show you that what I have. So I have the price line, I have the again repeater showing the overnight session, I have the drawing tool, I have the VWAP here, I have volume up down, I have the exponential 9, 25 and the 200 pretty much. What I look at on the 1-minute chart is when I'm trading with the tick chart and the entry bar, I look at and keep a track of the volume when I am entering or right before entering. Okay, let's say I'm waiting this structure to break here. So this area here, right? If I wanted to decide to enter here, I am waiting for a nice signal bar, which is after this level is going through here, right? Base of this level here going through, which is this bar here is a pretty decent bar here. So right before entering here, that I will prefer to look at the volume that's supporting this break. So if I don't see enough volume that coming in on that break, then I prefer not to enter or kind of wait more confirmation. So let's say if I decided to enter here, right at this level here after this bar closes, so I look at the 1-minute chart at the exact place. And so this is the 1-minute chart here. And I also look at what the volume is telling me, what the volume is showing. So right before this entry here, right before this breakout, I can see that the volume is red bars are getting gradually going higher and higher and breaking the prior level, right? So at this level here is actually, you can see that there is a up move on the red bars. So that's kind of good sign for me to decide on that entry. If I didn't see something like that, then maybe I could have put a hold on that entry. That is what I usually look at the 1-minute chart. And the final chart is the 800 tick chart or 1000 tick chart. I choose depending on the price action on that day. Here is the details of what kind of indicators that I have. Again, price line here, I have the repeater showing the overnight session, I have the pivot points here, I have the drawing tools here and VWAP here and the counter, and then I have the 25 exponential moving average here. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I try to keep it clean. And now I wanted to give a few examples about what I am doing with these charts. And again, before the day, we are marking the bigger time frames, which is the 1 hour, 4 hour and daily. With the 15-minute and the 5-minute, we are more often checking the trend, which the price is moving, going up or down or the sideways. It makes it a lot easier to see it. The 1-minute and the 800 tick chart or 1000 tick chart that we are trying to enter the trades and finding a good entry place. Areas here mark from the bigger time frame area. So these are that shows that these can be bounce areas, or if we break these areas, it can be price can go to the next level. Let's say this area here is where that indicator that marks the overnight session, right? So this is the 9:30 here, and this is the beginning of the overnight session. This price action is December 31st, and this is the overnight session here. So the price did a down channel here, as we can see at 4 a.m. that we have that nice big strong bar that break through this structure here, and the price went above the moving average, above the VWAP level. And then at this point here, if we wanted to decide to enter right on this here, let's say we decided to enter right around there after that bar is closed. So I will check out the volume at that time. So if we go to the 1 minute, so here is the overnight session here. When we look at the volume here, you can see that clearly that there is more volume coming in when you compare to rest of the overnight session volume. So that is a really good sign for us to enter at that location. That kind of also another confirmation from the volume for an up move. And as I mentioned before, you need to figure out when you enter it, where you wanted to take exit, and then where is your stop loss. So if I entered here, because of this is a big bar, I really don't want to put my stop all the way down here. Instead, I will probably do a 50% level here, which is right below the moving average and the VWAP level. That will be my stop. And if I put my stop right below here, let's say, and my entry is right around here, then I wanted something at least 1-to-1 ratio, right? I just don't want to exit couple hundreds after my entry, because if I'm risking this much, then I would like to get something similar at least, right? So if I aim for prior swing levels here, which is right around this area, that will give me at least 1-to-1 ratio or even more. Or you can look at that time here what the volume is doing, and you can keep holding till the chart itself telling you, which is after these nice bars here, we have this significant sell bar here, and then at this level here, this can be your exit area also if you are looking for more upside, right? Always remember that your exits are really, really important if you want it to be more profitable, because every time you close your winning trades too early, you are actually harm yourself a lot more. Just try to stay in the game as long as possible, and when you enter it, you have your targets, you have your exits, you have your stop, and then at least wanted to get with your target, you are getting same level of risk that you are taking. So in the long run, it is not gonna hurt you too much. So this was that overnight session run, and after that we see that they did a sideways action a little bit. Right here we have this base area here that I will prefer to break through first before a short entry, because you never know, this can do a bounce from here to test the high levels again, right? Let's say waited this bar here to close, which is a nice bar, decent bar, but still there are some buyers at the bottom here that's showing up, right? Let's say we decided to enter here. Before we enter, of course, I'm gonna check the volume again, and let's say our entry is when this bar is closed, right? So we waited this level breakthrough, and then this bar went through close, and then we entered at this level here. So if you check on the 1 minute chart here, so this is this area here, pretty much here. So we have some sell volume bars are bigger than the prior levels. So they are not too bad. It's pretty decent bars here when you compare to prior bars. So the another thing that I will think about is what is the risk reward ratio, right? So you're always gonna keep in mind that your risk reward ratio, if your target is not good enough for your risk, then it is really not worth it to enter, right? So if my target is a prior swing high level, which is this level here, let's say this level here. So if you are planning to take your profit here, then if your entry is right here, then it's really not too much risk reward area here, right? It is really not worth it to take in that entry if you are taking your exit here, because your stop is gonna be probably, if you entered here, probably right above this level here, right around here, right? That is a 50% of the prior, that signal bar. So from here, your risk is bigger than your profit target here. But if you are planning to take your profit at the VWAP level here, then there can be a better risk reward ratio, right? So this is your stop here, this is your entry, and this is your exit. So you are a little bit over 1-to-1 ratio. Just keep in mind that before your entry, you gotta make sure that you have the volume is supporting on your breakout with the signal bar, and also you are checking your risk reward ratio all the time. Okay, before the opening here, so this is the opening 9:30, and then we have the bars came down here, did a bounce from the VWAP here, and then we got rejected again, and then another bounce here. So pretty much it was wedging into the open, right? Wedging into the open. This is pretty much the wedge here, right? So this is, let's say like that, and this is the base of the wedge. So at the open, pretty much price played inside this wedge shape here and bounced a couple times from the VWAP area here, and we had a breakout here, right? And this bar is breaking this wedge here nicely. There is a very strong bar. There is no wick at the bottom or top. The only thing is here is that still this is the first 3 minutes of the session, so it is pretty risky here. This really can be at the open, especially at first 5 minutes, the price can do really reverse very fast. So, and I really don't want to risk like this much of a stop. So if I enter at the top, I don't want to put my stop all the way down here or below this VWAP level here. So I will probably stay away at this breakout at the open. But if you, let's say you decide to enter, but before you enter again, but if you decide to enter, then again, let's say you are planning to enter when the bar is closed or a little bit pull back here, like right area here, right? So what we need to do is then, so pretty much this area, let's check the volume at that time. So this is pretty much the volume here. Yeah, we have the nice volume bar here, but again, this is the open, very first few minutes, the volumes are always high and then they kind of go down a little bit, and this usual volume pattern here at the open. So the volume is there. I mean, it's not crazy like going passing prior bars, but the volume, green volume is there. But then the next one is the all red volume here right after that. Pretty much the volume is telling not too much for us at that, because just it's the open. Let's say you entered there, your stop is gonna be below this bar here, your target is gonna be possible target, maybe swing high over there, then it's gonna give you like 1-to-1 ratio, but it is gonna be a risky entry. Then I will probably stay away from it. But after I see that this move is failed there, I see that the sellers are again trying to push it low here, and then seeing that this level here is breaking through, so I will be more interested in this one, because I see the buyers are failed here. The buyers are a couple times already, they failed prior the open. They also, the price went through the VWAP and went through the below the moving averages, break through nicely at this prior, these two couple swings here, right? So these are really good reasons for me to look for a short entry here. So this is also a nice signal bar that I don't see too much wick at the top here, and then the bottom is very little. So let's say we wanted to enter when this bar is closed, and then on that pullback a little bit, and we wanted to enter right around here, right? So I want to check the 1 minute that what the volume is doing at that time. So if you are looking at it here, the volume is doing pretty nice. I don't see any like a low volume. It is the pretty same level here, and plus the prior two bars is the red volume bars also. So the volume is decent, I will say. If my entry is gonna be right around here, then my exit is gonna be right above this bar here, or even right above that VWAP level here. So this can be two areas here. Target is gonna be most likely the prior low levels here, which is where all these buyers are showing up here. So this can be a good exit area here, right? Just this area here. And again, you can do this with the ratios, or you can just look at the prior swing lows, high swings, then you can take exit, or you can just look at the bars itself when the bars is telling you to exit. Like let's say if you are trying to stay in this trade just looking at the bars, when you see the bars are printing doji shapes, seeing that the green bars are printing, then this area also can be a good exit area, right? You don't need to wait all the way to hit the high of the swing levels all the time, right? So this area can be also a decent exit area. If you do that and take your profit here rather than just right here, then your risk to reward ratio is gonna be a lot better by time, and then you are gonna, in the long run, you will be more profitable. I really need to insist this a lot. When you are planning to exit, you are most of the time you are too early. You need to really try to stay with the move. Just don't exit too early. Just hold on to yourself, and then just find yourself a reason why not to exit too early, right? You always look for something. You need to make yourself a target. You need to say that I'm gonna exit when the charts tells me, not like I am too scared to lose the money that I just made. So if you keep doing that, then your P&L is gonna be getting a lot better. And also you need to give it a time. You need to be a little bit more patient. That screen time is really, really important, because by time you are gonna understand the patterns, you are gonna understand the shapes, you are gonna understand how the price action is printing on the chart. And if you do trading with the same instrument over and over and every day, then you are gonna get used to that instrument a lot more, instead of just hopping one instrument to another and then keep changing your strategy to another strategy every few days. You are gonna stick to same rules, and then you're gonna stick to your instrument and then try to get more screen time with that instrument. And then with more screen time, then it will make it a lot more easier for you to see the structures and then find the best signal entry bars that when to enter. With this one here, after this sell-off here, we find a base here where this was a bigger time frame area. So the price went up here, we got a rejection from the VWAP. Price again went back to the below the moving average here, and then we got also again another bounce from here. So we are kind of doing this up channel here a little bit till we got rejected, and we have this double top rejection here. The price went down below the VWAP and the moving average, and again we have a nice beautiful signal bar here that breaking through without any wicks here, and breaking through this level also. Not just the uptrend line here, the bar itself is nice decent bar. Let's say we are planning to enter when this bar is closed right at this area here. Okay, so let's check the 1 minute here. Here is the 1 minute level here, right before the entry here, at that level here where the most volume for the green side is at that level here. And from that on, we have the red bars are getting bigger and bigger, right, till at this point here. So this is showing that the sell volume is coming in, because we see that the bars are keep getting bigger. By the time our entry is after that, we have the biggest red bar here that went through before prior green bar also. So these are showing the good sign for the volume. So it is supporting that entry. And if you are planning to enter here, again we need to make sure that our exit and our stop area when we are entering it. So if you are entering it here, our stop will be go above this bar here. That level here is a pretty decent area. Our exit is gonna can be this prior low level here, right around here. So if you do that, and that will give us more than 1-to-1 ratio, it's almost 2-to-1 ratio. And if we decided to just wait the bar itself to show us when to exit, then I would wait this bar, and after that this bar here, okay, this is a decent bar here, and then when we see this green bar here, then we can exit. This area also can be an exit area if you are just looking at the bars, or if you are just going for a prior low area here, then this can be your exit. Another thing you can look at is here is fake outs and the fake dips. Try to see that buyers or sellers are getting trapped. Those are the good areas that you need to follow that price action, and then can be a good entry areas after those fake outs. So if you are looking at it here, so this is a really nice bar, right? Really nice strong bar. If this was like pretty much the same here, right? So break this level here, but it just did not continue. First of all, just keep in mind that this area is a bigger time frame, right? Bigger time frame area. So it is very possible that this can be a bigger reversal area. So you need to always keep that in mind. That is why we are marking all these from the bigger time frames. And secondly, we need to look at the volume here. So yeah, the bar is looking nice, but what the volume is saying, what really the volume is supporting this nice bar. So if you are looking at the volume, here is the breakout area, right? The break this level here. So we need to check that out. So let's go to the 1 minute here. So here is the breakout on the 1 minute. If you are looking at it here, this is the bar that break through, right? So if you look at this bar here, this is the bar, that red bar here, it is really not too significant. It is pretty much the same level with the prior volume bars, right? So this is, yes, this is a red bar volume here, but it is not really something crazy like this one or even bigger that one. Right after that, we see a green bar, and we see another green bar, and we see another green bar. So after a significant area breakthrough, you really want to see some more red bars instead of more green bars after the breakout. If this is a breakout level here, I really want to see some more red bars here, but all we see is green bars, right? If you are looking at it here, for example, this is the only red volume bar here, which is a pullback here, which is a decent pullback entry. So you see that the bar is pretty low when you compare to other green bars. And also the other one is, again, every pullback volume bars, the red bars are pretty low when you compare to other green bars. So these can give you extra tips, extra confirmation that this is a fake out here happening. So you're gonna make yourself ready when you see a good chance to enter this trade. So if you are looking at the tick chart again, we see that the wick with a bottom here, and then we see a green bar here. This area here with this bar, we are breaking the structures here. Anywhere this area here on the pullbacks where I show you that the low red volume bars here, then this can be a pullback entry here. And the target can be your VWAP level here or prior swing high levels. Again, you always gonna compare your stop to your exits, and you really want to make that a better risk to reward ratio, and you need to keep that in mind every time you enter a trade. And this is one of my entries after breaking through this structure here, level here. Price did a pullback, and on that pullback the buy volume is really weak. I see that the price back below the VWAP level here. That show me that a confirmation for the downside is more possible than for the upside. So if you are looking at the 1 minute volume here, right at this level here, we see that the sell volume is on that break here, on that first initial break, is really nice when you compare to the rest of the bars here. And on that pullback here, the volume is same level when you compare to that sell volume here. Pullback here is actually did not continue, and then with the low volume here, and the price went back below the VWAP level here and then continue for the downside. And this is another one of my entry after the double bottom at the overnight open level here. The volume is really supporting that entry. So if we are looking at the volume on the 1 minute here, so this is pretty much after the double bottom here, we see that the red bars are going lower and lower. We have a really nice green bar here. Right after that, on the few red bars that they try to sell it, the red bars are not too great when we compare to the green bar here. And then right after that, the green bars are kicked in again and showing that a lot better volume than the red volume bars here. And here is another one of my entry. Price is a reaction on the pullback here, and then after that start selling off. If you are looking at the volume on the 1 minute, so when you look at that up move here, when you look at the green bars, they are getting smaller and smaller for a downhill move when you compare to the red bars, and the red bars are getting bigger than the green bars. And after this breaking this level here, then the price start to sell off till R2 pivot level. I hope this helps a little bit. I keep getting a lot of questions about my strategy or my chart settings or when to enter or what I'm looking for to enter. I hope this answers some of those questions, and I will be planning to do some more videos like this in 2025. And again, Happy New Year to everybody. I hope 2025 will be a really good year for all of us as far as our personal life or trading. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.